Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another velocity banking review. Did you know I got the idea of creating a cult from velocity banking from a Seinfeld episode where apparently cleaning carpets is an excuse to recruit members to a cult. And I thought, you know what? I need to take that idea. I'm gonna focus on paying off some debt, recruit some cult members, and we'll have a great time. Okay. And how do you know if this is a crazy cult or not? Because what sane person would study spreadsheets and paying off debt at 10:48 p.m.? Actually, it's not that late, but at 10:48 p.m. at night, I don't know any other group of people who does that. And that's what we're going to do today. But before we get started, let's just watch this clip of Seinfeld of George hires a cult to clean his carpets. We'll just watch a brief moment of this clip.
All right, I gotta go home and up at the house for the carpet cleaners. You know they're doing my whole place for $25?
Oh, no, no, no. Not the Sunshine Carpet Cleaners.
Yeah, you heard of them?
They're a crazy religious cult. The carpet cleaning is just a means for them to get into your apartment.
So for a $25 cleaning, I can listen to some pointless blather.
I do it. I'm not even getting the cleaning.
We're pretty much finished. There's just one more thing.
There it comes.
You forgot to sign your check.
Sorry. You sure there isn't anything else?
No.
So that's it?
Unless you need a receipt.
I wish that was all I needed. Life can be so confusing. I'm searching for answers anywhere.
Good luck with that.
That
Life can be confusing, especially when you're in a lot of debt. And that's what we're here for, to give you some possible answers. Starting at 10, what time is it? 10:50 p.m. at night. All right, let's get to it. Velocity banking. Actually, let me just kind of replay the clip again. Let me just go back here. Something interesting was said. It caught my eye.
It's just a means for them to get into your apartment.
Yeah. Okay. So velocity banking is a means for me to get into your finances and then recruit you.
So for a $25 cleaning, I can listen to some pointless blather.
I do it. I'm not even getting the cleaning.
Okay. All right. So let's get to it. What am I even talking about? I feel like I'm really half awake, but that's how dedicated I am to the cause. All right. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all of your money into debt with the help of a line of credit. So, if you really want to know how to think about it, just kind of think about it as not saving money, rebranded. That's literally what velocity banking is. Because you see this right here. If you make $6,500 of income and you have $6,626.15 of savings, and you're negative in the hole, okay? See, whether you're negative or positive, you're going to zero, buddy. You're going to zero. Okay. All right. So basically, it's just not saving money. Okay. And then you're using a line of credit to make sure you never save money. And it's a debt payoff strategy. So once you do an expense breakdown, you list every single debt that you have right here. Every single debt. Okay. Credit cards, loans. I mean, there's only really two types of debt, which is revolving debt, aka credit cards, and non-revolving debt, loans, right? And there's only like a few types of loans people get, which is student, auto, mortgage, and the more money you make, the more debt offers that you'll get. That's how banking works because banks don't lend money to people who need it. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they don't. All right, so in order to do velocity banking, we assume the same income and expenses. And all we're doing is really redirecting the flow of money and not saving it. So, what we're going to do, right? You take a look here is that when I have money, okay, when I have money, I'm just not going to save it. You see this 19 grand that I know that most people don't make, but I'm just casually pointing out. Whenever it comes to my checking account, I just dump it in, take it out and withdraw it and put it into the line of credit. So this is going to be a $0 figure. Okay, $0, no money. Okay, no savings. That's like the number one rule of velocity banking, aka Fight Club. You know how in Fight Club the movie's like you don't talk about Fight Club. That's like the number one rule. Well, velocity banking, you're not going to save money. Okay, and then you're going to put that money usually in a line of credit and pay off the debt in optimal order. So, what is a line of credit? Here is my home equity line of credit, $280,000. So basically, what is it? It's a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay back, and use it over and over again. So a credit card's a line of credit, but unlike a credit card, you can use this to pay anything. If I have a $50 home equity line of credit bill that's due, I just pull out 50 and then I put it back, bill satisfied. You can't do that with a credit card, can you? That's why so many people struggle with credit cards. But with a home equity line of credit or a personal line of credit, oh, I can do that, right? I can do that. It's amazing. Okay. So, all right. What am I even doing? Is this a picture of me? I guess it was once I got issued that home equity line of credit. But don't worry, I'm not going to snap half the universe, but I might snap my debt in half. Okay. Cheesy joke, but you're gonna clap because your cult leader demands you to. Anyways, all right, so let's go ahead and do this. And what we're gonna do is assume we have an $80,000 home equity line of credit. Now, will a bank give you an $80,000 home equity line of credit when you're negative money in the hole? The answer is no, because banks don't lend money to people who need it, right? The bank's best and most targeted ideal customer is someone who makes a lot of money and then doesn't have any debt and doesn't need money. And then as they offer you more debt and you're gonna get yourself into the hole, that's when they've said, okay, we sucked enough of your blood and we're not gonna offer you any more of your debt, right? That's how a bank works. They don't deal with poor people. Okay. That's why there's articles on like, how was it, the New Yorker, which had a good one a couple years ago. Let me just do this. Banks avoid poor people. Let me see if I can get a good, yeah. Why the poor turn to alternative financial services because banks don't like poor people, right? Banks, poor, poor people, banks. Well, what was it called? Was it the New Yorker? New Yorker, they had a good article on that. Yeah, the high cost for the poor of using a bank, right? And this was in 2013. Okay. So this isn't something new, but I think a lot of people are like, banks like, target poor people, which they kind of do in a way with like overdraft fees and all that stuff. But really, their main target is people like the small percentage of the population that makes a good, decent money, but they don't really know how to manage money. That's like the bank's ultimate customer. Kind of like that nurse we showed a long time ago is like, I'm making good money, but I don't know why I'm struggling because I'm just only making minimum payments and I don't know what's wrong. And it's like, well, that's your answer, sis. Girlfriend. I don't even know what to call her, right? But you know what I mean. All right. So let's go ahead and pay off our debt. And the way that we do this is by simply turning this negative into a positive. And how do we do that? Well, we just simply start off with ranking our debts. And the easiest way to rank them is by using what we call the cash flow index, right? So it's going to be 5,000 divided by 175. So the formula is the balance of the debt divided by the minimum payment, right? And so it's going to be 30,000 divided by 1,050, right? And then you can see right here 35,000 divided by 1,137.5. And then this one is actually, I got formulas here in my loan calculator. Let me kind of do this, right? Okay. So all I got to do is just copy and paste these, right? So the cash flow index is essentially a measure of the ratio of the balance to the payment, right? And the lower the number, the more bang you're going to get for paying it off, right? So I pay off this 35 grand to get $1,100 back in my cash flow, or I could pay 250,000 to get $1,100 back in my cash flow. Which one gives you more bang for your buck? Obvious, this one. So you want to take the lowest cash flow indexes, which we will do. And then this is going to be 70,000, I believe, 70000. And then what happens? Okay, what happens when we do that? Well, these three payments simply go to zero. And whoa, how do we get from negative 126.15, which was a struggle bus, to what do you call it? The success bus, the non-struggle bus. I got to think of a name, but I'm so sleepy because I'm so dedicated to teaching this at 10:57 p.m. at night. Okay, that's how dedicated I am. Actually, I admit I'm kind of weak sauce because I used to be. I swear there was once upon a time I used to be able to wake up at like 2 a.m. until 2 a.m. no problem. And I'm like I can't even get past 9 p.m. And yeah, that it is true when they say the more money you make, the more weaker you become. In a way, I feel like that is true, especially if you grow up rich. That that's like living in no gravity. All right, so let me go ahead and then what am I even doing here? Oh yeah, the final step. Okay, final step is that you get your paycheck, $6,500. You put the entire thing into the line of credit. So it's kind of like this, right? You get paid whatever you get, it goes to your checking account, and then you withdraw from the checking account. You pay the line of credit, and basically putting your entire paycheck does two things. Number one, it satisfies a minimum monthly payment. Okay. So you don't really have to think about it as an actual bill, just like when I talked about the $50 bill example. If a $50 bill is due, okay, take it out, put it back in. Okay. You make the minimum, it satisfies the minimum monthly payment. And number two, it minimizes the interest because the interest is based on that average daily balance. So let's go ahead and calculate that. And then this is going to be G2 plus H2 minus our cash flow 2236.35. So the cash flow here is the amount our debt gets reduced. So when we're here, right? When we're on the struggle bus, the debt was actually increasing, or we're just making more money for the banks by with overdraft fees and all that nonsense. But when we're here, okay, when we're here, oh man, good times ahead, right? Good times ahead, okay? Didn't you wish that someone taught you this when you were um I don't know what age would be appropriate to teach you this and brainwash you? Is brainwash the right word? Because I feel like it takes a certain type of character to really like dedicate yourself to teaching this over and over again. And I honestly cannot believe I became like guru cult leader for this because this is the last thing I would have imagined myself teaching as a young man. Not gonna lie, I actually thought, man, it would be so cool if I could be a professional gamer, but I'm not. All right, so 36 months, so three years, the debt is paid off. So let's go ahead and pay off all of our debt, 70K in three 3 years, okay? And then now what we do is we have these loans, and the thing about amortized loans is that unlike credit cards, the payment in credit cards, the payment is like a percentage of the balance. But with amortized loans, the payment is fixed, right? And so you'll have different cash flow indexes based on where we are in the journey. And so if we go to 36 months and just type that in, 36, 36, 36, right? You'll see that this one has the lowest cash flow index, which is the auto loan, right? So let's go ahead and move that 8 grand of the auto loan into the line of credit, which we'll do right here. We'll blam. All right. So it's going to be plus 8906.11. And then, okay, this is going to be 0. And then this is going to be $2,623.10. Okay. All right. 2623.1. All right. And then we see that here we have it paid off 39 months. All right, 39 months. That was quick. 3 months to pay off a car. That's impressive. And that's 91K. And then now we got to focus on the student loan and the mortgage. So now it's 39, 39. And again, just use a cash flow index. This one's the next one. Now, let's use what we call the chunking method to pay it off. So whenever you have a high cash flow index and a lower interest rate loan, moving the loan to the entire thing to the line of credit may be a bad idea. Okay, so just kind of be aware of that dynamic. But let's go ahead and cheat and use our velocity banking calculator because I'm getting really sleepy. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the velocity banking calculator. And luckily, the cool thing about this is I just gotta like throw in the numbers here, and then it'll just spit out some numbers. Oh man! All right, I am so sleepy. Okay, so this is 55,000, 55,000, 10 years at 5%. And then this is going to be 40034.51. So 40034.51. And then the payment amount is going to be 583.36, 583.36. And then what is our income? Our income is same. And then our expenses is this. Everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off. 3293.54. 3293.54. Okay. 1.1 years for a student loan. That was originally 40 or 55,000. Not bad. Not bad. All right. 1.1 times 12. That's 53 months. And then this is going to be 91 plus 55, 146K. All right. And then the last one is the mortgage, and we just do that. So 53. And then now I'm going to do this. So 200. So this is going to be 4% at 30 years. And then this is going to be 2100, I believe. Let's just check. Yep, 2100, 1193.54, 1193.54. And then what's the original amount? It's 250. So 250000. And then here it's going to be 229,156.8. 229,156.8. Yeah. So now it's 4.8 years. Okay. 4.8 years. We paid off that sucker, and right. So 0, 0. And now, where are we going? 53 divided by 12 plus 4.8. 9.2 years debt free. 9.2 years. Again, it's not your mortgage that's paid off. It's everything, to including the credit cards, auto loan, student loan, right? So don't you wish you were part of this cult? And I got to put like some laugh tracks like in Seinfeld. In fact, yeah, there's always laugh tracks somewhere. When it's not, when you take off the laugh tracks, it actually seems kind of psychotic what they're saying. But yeah, we need some laugh tracks.
We're pretty much finished.
So very hungry.
Oh, yeah, well.
Hold on. Yeah, we need laugh tracks like that.
So, gentlemen, we have a deal?
オレンジいただきます。さあ、どう見ても大変のすみません。は、それで。
Uh-oh. I hope none of my cult members are experiencing that.
Excuse me. Did you hire the Sunshine Carpet Cleaners?
Yes, to clean up the coffee stain left by Jerry's side fiddle.
Mr. Wilhelm, what are you doing here?
I'm here to clean the carpets. Most of the world is carpeted, and one day we will do the cleaning.
Him you brainwashed? What's he got that I don't have? Mr. Wilhelm, listen, you've been abducted. Please, Mr. Wilhelm, you gotta listen to me.
Wilhelm? My name is Tanya.
これでよくヤンキースを勝てたな。
Well, that's it, folks. My name is Tanya, so that's apparently what I have to change my name. I thought my name was Cam, and then on another video I thought my name was Neo, but apparently my name is Tanya. Okay, that's the requisite to be part of this cult. So if you made it to the end of this video, just type in at the comment, my name is Tanya. Or maybe you could say proud to be a Camp Cults member as well. All right, well, that's it, folks. We made it. It's 11:08 p.m. past my bedtime. That's how dedicated I am to be part of this Velocity Bacon cult as your very dedicated cult leader who can't even get past midnight. All right. Well, have a great day. And this is Tanya. See you later.